Apple is still up on your 2-minute EWO. Apple is still up on your 2-minute EWO. I see that it continues to loiter around VWAP, but that is not broken held through VWAP. You guys are still riding the line over there, right?
That is correct, Coach. We're using VWAP 223.11 as support, and we're using the 9 EMA as support, and we're using 22367 as a wall of resistance. So we might be in this tight little channel, but we just want to see if we can get another juicy breakout.
Eric is an absolute animal in the Apple.
Yes, yes. Those of you that are over there looking at that, David, everybody, your 220.90, right, is a key critical area. You see these previous candles over there?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a big one, that 220.90-ish. Well, it's actually
222.80, somewhere in the range.
Yep. So that's actually support, right?
Yep. It touched that there 3 times, 1, 2, and 3 on 2 minutes.
Yeah. So that's actually your support. So nobody's panicking as long as you're staying above that area. I'd like to see you break out of these previous consolidations candles. Once you get above 223.67, you should start to have a climb for new high a day right there. You need to break that 223.67 to make your next move. Here goes Apple. That's what we wanted to see. If you guys were riding out on Apple, great job. We were watching that 228.80, right? That was from previous candles just below VWAP. That was where the true support was, and it did it again, and then it popped. And I told you if it breaks 223.67, you're going to be pushing for new high a day. So let's review Apple. So you've had one pullback at 50%. Right there was your 50%. Everybody do it on this exact candle. Well, actually this one. Let me zoom in. Hold on. Yeah, it was this candle. Did everybody collect 50% right there?
I did, Coach.
Thank you. And you guys see why it was? You see how these were flat, consolidating? This one was actually lower. Did everybody do that right? 2-minute EWO gang, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Good job.
It needs to break 224 right now. It's slowly breaking. We're going to reach a double top.
Yeah, we're at the double top right now. See if we can get a break of this 224.30.
Yep. Oh, this is amazing, Coach. Man, this is freaking badass.
Beautiful. That was a 6-star trade called out at the open. We've been monitoring it since the pre-market, right? I told you, look at this, starting to get a lot of volume in there before the bell even rang. Started to run up. We had a 50% collection, by the way, which was glorious if you guys collected your 50% here. Came down to where our level was at 222.80. Had a nice bounce on our actual support that we called out right here. Now we're pushing new high a day, just like we said it would, as long as it broke 223.67. One of the nice things, of course, with the Diamond Lifetime membership is you guys can go in anywhere. You can jump in anything. Oh, you want to learn about crypto? That, 7 o'clock, we're having a live session. Boom. Oh, you just got done in the morning with the coach and you want to head over to Futures and check it out and see what's going on over there? Boom. Oh, there's a mentorship class tonight. Boom. Right? Like, oh, gold breakout room. I'm in it. Oh, this weekend I got time. I'm going to jump into that weekend training. Boom. Oh, you guys got a mastermind class. Boom. Right? Like, everything is available to you, and you don't have to worry about, right, recurring payments. You don't have to worry about, well, what if I want to learn futures or crypto later? It's all covered. It's all covered with just this $5,000. Now, listen, if you can't get it today, don't worry. You can still get it, but it's going to be 20 grand. All right. So don't freak out. But everybody that's been in this room longer than, say, 30 days, you know that ain't squat. For what we do, that ain't nothing. And I mean nothing. In the beginning, it's going to be like, that's so much money. Later, you're going to be like, that's about a 20-second trade. Am I right or wrong?
100%, Coach.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a literal steal.
You guys want to head over to AmericanDreamTrading.com and get signed up.
Welcome to American Dream Trading's The Aftermarket Live Chat and Watch Party. I am your host, Dawn, aka J&J Video Reacts. And this is a stream that's been created for traders to kick back, relax, and decompress after the market. Today we're talking about mental mechanics, getting into the hows and whys we do things in trades that we do when we trade. But before we get into it, make sure you guys are smashing that like button, annihilating it. Smash it to pieces, James. Hit the like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get close to 20,000 subscribers. Right now, we're sitting firmly at 15,220. And all we've got is 47.8. One too many eights there. 47.80 to go, right? So we can do this. So we're working on mental mechanics today, James. What you think about that, brother?
Ugh, that's a hard one.
Right? Because
what's that old saying? You are your own worst enemy.
Yes. We've experienced that, haven't we?
Oh yes.
How'd you do?
No,
that?
it'll come back. It'll come back. No, I'll get out here. Well, there's a line there too. I'll wait till it gets there. Well, there's one down here too.
It's like
I did pretty good.
Okay, cool. TSLL, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You are mastering that beast. Way to go.
And TSLQ.
That's your twins. That is your twins. I don't blame you. That's awesome, man. You know, it's just like David with the apple. You get one thing down, you get it, and you stick with it. You know, I went back after the futures beast today between M2K and MES. That seems to be the two that I do okay with. But I took like almost a week off from trading, and I came back today fresh, and it helped. That's why I did the aftermarket on mental mechanics, because sometimes you just have to in order to get away from the addiction of it and constantly going back in, especially even when you're losing, which we know we shouldn't be doing. You got to pull yourself away from it. Coach tells us that all the time. You know, when you are finding yourself wrapped up in the mental mechanics, into the fear, the hopium, the greed, when those emotions are getting the best of you guys, you got to muster up the strength to walk away from it for a while, because that means you're no longer you, right? It's got you. That trading monster has got you, and you have got to pull yourself away from it and walk away from it. I know, because I'm saying this from personal experience. So you have to. Today I came back fresh. I traded M2K and MES, and I probably did about 6 or 7 scalps today, and I was green. I did 100% of my account. I put $81 in, right?
Nice.
And, I walked away with $165 in my account today. So just scalping, you know.
Sweet. And congratulations. You should ring the bell.
All right, I'll ring it. It felt good, right? So, and I was, talking to Doug throughout, because he was also trading, and both of us are trying to work out these mental mechanics in futures together. And he had a green day as well. So shout out to Doug, my accountability partner. Also, Ange is my accountability partner. So I got a few of them, you know what I mean? But yeah, he is of late. We're on the struggle bus together and trying to help each other get off. So I appreciate that. So I was sending him screenshots throughout the day. I remember talking to Coach earlier saying I was up $20 and I was going to stop. And in the middle of that, I did stop and I went to editing the video that you saw earlier. And then I saw a couple of snacks that I couldn't stay away from. I'm like, okay. I'm like, dude, that's a setup if there ever was one. You know what you're doing. It's a setup. This is the stuff that you wait for, that you mentally keep yourself in a holding pattern. And when you see this, you move. So I did, and then I made another 20. So then it became a thing of where I said, okay, go back to the editing is helping me too. Keeping my mind off that damn screen, right? Getting back into the video, right? Then turned around. Next thing I know, it's going up. I'm like, dude, it's right there. It's up. It's I gotta get a little bit more. I can get a few. If I can get a few dollars more, then I'll leave it on. Got a few dollars, made 40. Right. Next thing I know, right? Or like, no, not 40. Oh, here's the thing. Made like another 10. Then I went down. That next trade was a losing trade. I went down to 109 from 137. And I was pissed. I'm like, that's what you get. You should have stopped when you said you were going to stop. You were on $137 from 81. That was good. Why did you get back in? So then it goes down. I waited. I stayed away and I went back to editing the video and I'm like, okay, you're going down, right? I got M2K up to where I was at $145. And so I said, okay, now I have enough to get in an ES contract. I no more of this 50 cent a tick bullshit. Let me go over to ES for the same fee. I can be making $1.25 a tick. All right, we got somebody else.
So can't you go down just as well as you can go up?
That's where I'm getting to. Hey, buddy. So that's what I'm getting to. So I had gotten to 145 and I'm like, okay, now I have enough to get in an MES contract, but it was so high. It was so high. It was on the ceiling. It would have been stupid of me to chase the longs. So I said, okay, you made enough to the upside. It's at some point going to come down. If it doesn't today, then you've made your money. You get into ES tomorrow, leave it alone. But then I put it on the 2 minute, right? I got off the 1 minute and put it on the 2 minute and saw the 9 cross firmly over the 21. Like it did the little 90-degree angle thing. And it's like, okay. And then it started going down. Next thing I know, Mark's live. Then he says, okay, I'm waiting for the break and hold. And I start looking at it. I'm like, oh, this finally, because I said to myself, don't get in that trade to the downside until it breaks firmly out of the cloud, because there's no really any floors there until you can get to the 200. So, but wait, because it can do this shit, right? Especially since it's to the upside today. You're doing a counter trend trade. So make sure it's telling you, yes, I have switched. I want to go down. And to me, that was a break and hold out of the cloud under the 55. So when that happened, I got in. Took it all the way up to $213, y'all.
Nice.
Stayed in it too goddamn long. So when it kept pulling back. When I saw that at 165, I hurried up. And here's the thing, to my credit, I did try to get out. It didn't get me out, right? I canceled my stop and I went to get out and it did not pull me out at like 200. And so it kept going. I'm like, shit. So I had to redo the sell or the buy to get out, and I got out at 165. So I'm like, okay, that's $20 more. That's double what you had when you started today. Stop, finish the video. And I did. That's exactly what I did. So that was a
Yeah,
crazy.
I caught Mark's YouTube,
I was
and
listening
then
to.
there was well, there was one thing on there. I don't remember who it said he was, but somebody had made $499 and 78 or 79 cents.
Yeah.
50, he was 75 cents. He needed,
75 cents.
he needed an extra 25 cents to get to $500.
See, that right there would have drove me up the wall
I
Ooh,
know,
they
right?
lost.
for
Tell me they
25
lost.
cents.
Please don't tell me they lost it.
No.
No, 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 no.
Mark
Good.
told me.
No, I'm
Mark
just
said,
saying for myself to be 25 cents short of that $500.
That is a mental
Yeah,
mechanic that I struggle with. Yeah, it's like you want to get. I was gonna go for the 200. I was going for the 200, and when I saw 213, it quickly kept going because the candles kept jumping between like 209, 200, 199. I should have gotten out then, but I didn't. You know what I mean? I did not. I'm still,
see, for me on that trade, I was an NQ. I took it
yeah.
off the 9 down to the 200, and I figured it was going to bounce there because I've seen it happen so many times aggressively, especially in a counter trend scalp. Come down to the 200 and just go completely in the opposite direction super fast. So my planned exit was the 200. As soon as it hit the 200, I was out. And then it just it looked at it like it was running past in slow mo. It's like bye, and just kept diving. And it didn't stop until it got to a gold level that I had snapped for I don't know how long, months or so by now, and then it rejected. I'm like, oh,
I literally had to take it off
it.
the screen. I could have probably got. I had to take it off the screen. I couldn't look anymore.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I planned my entry. I planned my exit. I did both. It was a good trade. I'm out.
Nice. We're doing good, man. We're doing good.
well, and we had someone else in the live Zoom. Again, I'm horrible with names. I want to say it was Forrest, but I'm not 100%. That actually had a pretty good day profit.
I thought I heard Forrest.
And he kept saying, "Well, I'm going to go see the grandbabies," and he was still there watching that stock. Well, I'm going to take the dog, and Palm's telling him, "Man, don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it. You're going to get into that mode. You're going to give it back."
Yep.
No, but I got this. No.
Don't do it. Stop it.
Yeah. Take your filthy hands off the mouse.
You go on tilt and it hurts so bad in the other direction. It's just, silly.
It really does. And when I went down to that 109, I'm like, okay, see, no more. You had $137. What are you doing? But then I'm like, you know what I mean? It's finally here, going to the downside. I've been waiting on that. And to our credit, we waited for setups. This is why we made money today. We didn't just jump in. There was a difference today. We waited for setups. The detriment was holding on just a little bit too long. But there would have been a time where I would have let that shit go way past my buy-in for M2K. Like I would have went under 70. Holding on to that, trying to get back up over the 200. So I'm glad that I'm like, I stopped at the 2, even though it didn't stop me out. It didn't get me out.
Well, that final trade for me, I needed that mental boost, that good planned entry and exit, because the third trade I had today, admittedly, I was a little heavy in the position, and it was on an uptrend. It was looking really strong, and then all of a sudden, it looked like NQ does. NQ just the bottom dropped out.
James, while you're not talking, maybe mute your mic, and that way.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
And then the bottom dropped out, and then I had to gut through 2 pullbacks before it came back to position. But I was watching the 9, I was watching the 21 on the 2-minute. It was still in that beautiful EWO progression. So I was trusting those indicators, letting it do its thing. So when it came back up to my position, I'm like, all right, so now we're getting some good strength. I've got some good candles. L2 is starting to load up, and I took profit on that one. Ended up being about $11, but on that particular trade, I gutted out 2 pullbacks, watching it do what it's going to do, and I'm like, all right, I just want to get out of this now. I'm exhausted watching this happen. So
it is mentally, it wears you down.
It does. It does. And then it had a third pullback, and I got people in my office now. I can't really focus on the chart, so I was glad to get out of the trade at that point to address their issues. But the real entry for that next run up on that EWO was literally 6 minutes later, and it was beautiful for the rest of the day. And that trade right there, if I would have just stayed in it, would have made me over $500 on that one trade.
Yeah.
It was a 254 tick run on NQ, on micro NQ.
Wow.
Yeah. So I scared myself out of it. I got green, I got out. So, I did that. But
yeah,
if
when I think about if I had just sat in M2K, God, I probably would have been up over $200-300.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so in my journal, I've got in there, good exit, solid trade. You made some money on it. You didn't get hurt. But the key factor there was 6 minutes later, you could have been a superstar if you just been watching the chart, right?
Yeah.
But because I work all day long, I can't sit in the charts all day long. So I'm like, oh, that was such a good play too.
Are you talking about holding too long, Don? You remember the conversation about AEMD?
AEMB. What, last week? AEMD last week?
Oh God, no! This has been months ago, months and months ago. It had good potential. It had good support. And all of a sudden, the support fell out, and I was in heavy. Got down $342.
Yeah, I remember
said,
that.
The hell with it. It's shares. I'll hold that son of a bitch too. You said no. Get out of it.
Get out of it. I remember that.
Fine. And what did it do? I think like 2 months after that, delisted.
Wow. Thank God.
Holy moly.
Because God knows how long you might have tried to hold on to that thing. That thing just would have really eaten not only your lunch, but your dinner and the breakfast the next day. That's crazy, dude. Well, you dodged that bullet. Thank God.
Well, with your help. But on to a positive note, F2. Killer day this morning.
What'd you do?
Talk to us, baby. You there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having technical user interface, personal. I don't know what the hell I'm doing today. I did pretty good.
You know what you do in that damn trade, though.
I was going to say, at least it didn't happen.
I got in early on the 2-minute EWO this morning on Apple, and I did stay in it for the long haul. Probably could have made a little bit more, but I got where I was happy, and I got out with a little around $800. So
nice. Way to go, man! Way to go.
Standing.
Now, I just got to say, and I'm not gonna knock you because I know you love your job, but how much did you make it your 9 to 5 today?
Oh, nowhere near that. But I have after my one-on-one the other day, I have a strategic plan in place that it's going to take a little while, but we have to get we got to get a lot of things in a row, and we're not going to skip any steps. So it's going to take a little bit longer than I want, but got to be ready. And
you got the right guidance, so follow your steps.
Who'd you sit with?
That's awesome, brother. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Who'd you sit with?
The ultimate.
Palm, I was fortunate enough to get a one-on-one with Palm the other day, and it was the quickest hour that I've ever sat through.
I'll bet.
And,
that man is a savant.
Yes, he is.
Genius. Can't
So
say
is
anything.
Coach, you know.
Yeah.
Just to watch them, you know, and then when they go back and forth, you really get some nuggets, you know. It's insane. But you know, you're beginning to get a feel, you know, you're getting an intuition and a feel for what you're doing. It's obvious, you know. And all you got to do is take your time. And I know you don't like it when we, you know, use the M word, but you are definitely on track to be one of the millionaires the way that you're going. You know, and you have a level head. That right there, F, is your biggest asset. You're extremely calm demeanor and not being able to be over the top one way or the other. That helps you in trades. I wish I could be. Look at me. I'm a Cancer. I'm animated. I'm emotional. That is great and passionate and great in other things like creativity. But when it comes to trading, it's a hindrance. Okay. I wish I was more like you. And I can get in these Zen states, like especially right after yoga and stuff like that. But I'm not like that all day. That's not my natural. I'm a lot more animated. And that works against me a lot of times. So that is my struggle. I know how to trade. I'm learning to work on me and my over the top and, you know, try to contain my enthusiasm, if you will, in trades, you know, because it can go the other way because I'm extremely angry when I don't do right. I'm extremely hopeful when it's going against me. I'm extremely this, I'm extremely that. That has to stop. And that's what I'm working on, you know. And today, you know, I did pretty good. I'm happy. You know, I waited for setups. When I saw it doing what it needed to do, I stayed in it. And then when I saw it going against me, I got the hell out. I took emotion out of it and became a robot. And that's what you have to do. We hear that all the time. Coach says it, everybody says it. Got to do that. You really do.
I still we covered a big part of that in my one-on-one too. I try to stay level headed and be like, no, but I overthink everything too much. And we work through a couple of scenarios with that and stuff too. And so don't think I'm calm and cool and collective all the time. I have moments like I have oh, I should have done these moments or what if moments. So
own the compliment, damn it. Own the compliment.
thank you very much. I just don't want everybody to think I'm like all the time. Like I have moments.
I got you. Don't we
John, I
all?
got no idea what you're talking about. Being animated and doing all this stuff like that, I think you are awesome. I don't care what Maria says about you at all.
You look like you were doing a rap song. I am though. I really am. I get that from my mom. My mom, sometimes I freak myself out. I sound so much like her, but she was very animated like that, you know, and I realized, you know, I am her reborn in a lot of ways, right? So, but I'm thankful for it because it just it makes me who I am. You know, it helps when I'm playing music and when, you know, if I'm singing something. So there are areas where it is very, very, very helpful. But in trading, it works against you, you know, to be over the top, like emotional. Um, but that's why, you know, mental mechanics are just as important as technical mechanics, right? We got to practice not staying in trades with the hopium when it's going against us. We got to practice sitting on our hands and being calm when we want to jump in, even though you see the candle jumping. Sometimes, what looks like a setup isn't a setup. If it's going to the upside and it's chopping to the upside, but you didn't get in it when it was down here, getting in it up here, you got to learn how to hold yourself back. And that's not an easy thing to do. But one good thing, and I've heard David say this, he walks away from his computer. I got up and walked out of the room. I got into editing the video and turned away from the computer, right? Took Weeble off the screen entirely, or TradingView off the screen entirely, right? So I couldn't see what was going on. And that helps. That really helps.
Something else that's made a major improvement for me is trust the indicators.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Breaking hold of the 9 was my jam today.
Yeah, prove that to myself time and time again today.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark. Breaking hold of the 9 was my jam today. It had to be up well under or well over for me to even do anything, with a second confirmation candle. And I was listening to him in the futures today on the live call, and I did happen to pop it back up on the screen when it was going to the downside. And I remember when it broke, but it didn't hold yet, that second candle right under the 9. And he was talking about, all right, now all I got to do, see, I could probably get in this early, but I'm going to wait for that hole. And the thing shot right back up. And he said, see, if I had gotten in that. And I'm like, yes, I didn't get in it either. Mark. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's
that's momentous for you.
It really is, dude.
You're an early bird.
I told you that. I said I jump in stuff early. I don't wait. That's one of my things.
Yeah.
And today I waited. Every scalp I waited.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That better be all over your journal.
You know it. That, and stay consistently doing that. That's the thing this month. Consistency and diligence, and I'm determined to do that.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a big move.
Yeah. I'm happy for both of us today. We got a win today.
Yeah. I had 3 really solid trades and one that kind of made everything in my body pucker. But I trusted the levels. Coach's indicators are miraculously accurate. And watching the L2 for confluence and turned into a winning trade. So that one was a poor entry with the L2 disappearing as soon as I got in. I was like, oh, I had volume, and now I don't. Damn it.
Yeah, right. I hate that.
So it happens. I mean, it is what it is. But it was the 6 minutes after that I really am kicking myself for, because I really just want to shut my door, lock it, and tell people to pound sand for the rest of the day, because that would have been that was such a beautiful EWO for the rest of the afternoon. Would have loved to have caught that one.
You know what I hate with the L2? When you get in, you're looking at it and you see all the green and it's going down, right? And as soon as you get in, the red goes wham, and it's like, no.
Yep.
Get out of there.
Yeah. Damn you.
Close your door, Doug, and prop your chair up against the handle.
I've got a lock on it, but if I have to put a padlock on the outside, I'll do it. I ain't scared.
Wow.
I saw the look on one person when they came in, and I looked at them. I said, I'm in a trade. They about face and walked out. Thank you. I'll be with you in a minute. Won't take long.
Wow. Did your wife trade today? How's she doing?
No, she's actually interested in learning.
Okay.
So
I thought she had started trading. Okay.
No.
Where Jen is. Okay.
No, she wants to. Back in the day when she was younger, in the UK, she did a lot of financial planning and so on and so forth. Back before computers. Because we're we're kind of old. And so all of her financial planning and everything that she did through those courses was done through the newspapers, right? So you read the newspaper and all the results from the previous day, and it was more long-term planning, and strategizing positions and so on and so forth. These days we've got computers and everything is clickety click, and you're in and out and bing bing bing. It's the velocity of trading now versus back then is wildly different. So she's interested in learning how to day trade, but she really does have an affinity for long-term planning.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Swing.
me, I've got the attention span of a squirrel. So that works really well for the two of us.
Squirrel.
I know. So she can work on the long-term planning and learn how to do some day trading, and I can focus on the day trading side of things.
It works because you guys will have positions that are spread out and be making money all the while you're scalping.
That's the whole plan, yeah. So we've got money working for us while we're making
while you're
money.
scalping. Yep.
Yep.
That is something that I want to get to at some point. So yeah, I thought about that. I'm like, I remember a couple of weeks ago looking at Bitcoin, and I'm like, I remember telling you guys, if I had gotten in this Monday, look where it is here now, a couple of days later, and it, swing trading Bitcoin, and it got me thinking, maybe in the background have some stuff running, I know Coach talks about the leaps all the time and buying 90 days out. Maybe try to do a couple of that with a couple of those with some smaller stuff,
You could. I mean, for the nano Bitcoin, it's $341 a contract overnight.
Overnight, right? So that would have to be there in order to let it sit.
Yep.
But
well, and your maintenance margin on that's $310. So honestly, if you got in it during the day and you just let it run overnight, you really only need to have $310 in there.
Okay.
But if you get in the trade overnight, then in order to get into it, you have to have 341. To maintain it, you need 310. Gotcha. So that's not too bad.
That's not bad at all, actually. That's very doable.
And you're doing it with margin, right? So you've got 20x on that. Is that 20x on Bitcoin through Coinbase? Let me see. Now I'm curious. Nope, 100x. So you're working with 100x margin on that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, do me a favor. I feel like an idiot. What does that mean? Is that like an option?
I'm not familiar with options, to be fair.
Okay.
But your standard futures contract is 20x. So this is 5 times that, your position size. So if for instance, you're buying a contract at in this particular case, a $300 contract, in real life, it's 1/100th of what you're actually buying. So that equates to $30,000 worth of Bitcoin.
Right.
Now the payout for that is in $5 increments, and the value per tick is every 5 cents, or it's 5 cents per $5. So you need a $5 move to make 5 cents. Well, Bitcoin on average, what was the ATR I last saw in Bitcoin? Let me check it here. I want to say it was hundreds because of how it moves. And your 1-day ATR on that is $11.09. So, you've got $5 moves in there. Let me look at the daily just to make sure that's accurate. Come here. Oh, bugger. Oh, this isn't the right one. Hold, please. So we're talking about the Nano. Yeah, the Nano, the ATR on the Nanos, 2,795 ticks in a day.
Jeez Louise. I believe that.
Right. So in one day, the thing moves almost 20, today anyway, moves almost 2,800 ticks. So are you going to catch it at the top and the bottom? Probably not. Right.
No.
So you're going to be within the range somewhere. But, you know, a $5 move or 5-cent payout per $5 move, that's pretty lucrative. You can make some good money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially if you're using the EWO process.
Right.
And swing trading that. I know Maria loves it.
I know she does. She makes some good money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking at it the very first time I looked at it, I'm like, 5 cents a tick? Are you kidding me? Hell no.
Right.
So I got in it. And I decided to try because I fell below the margin for M2K one day, and I saw that the margin was $30. So I said, okay, you know what? Let me. I think I had like $60. I got 2 contracts. Well, the next thing I knew, I was up like $5-6, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, what?
It moves
So
pretty aggressively throughout the day.
I became a fan. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I thought I'd be sitting there all day twiddling my thumbs waiting for 5 cents to like accrue.
No,
And
I
it
mean,
happens pretty quickly. You're in the dollars.
let
you know?
me give you a for instance. Right now, from 11:24 this morning to what is that 16:32 today,
Mm-hmm.
it had a 287 tick drop over 5 hours.
Wow.
Right. So if you would have gotten in at the
5
top of
cents.
that double top drop and rode it all the way down just to let it do its thing, that's $14.35 per contract.
Nice.
Just to let it sit there and do what it's going to do. It's not terrible.
No, not at all. Not at all. And it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And it's not aggressively offensive, too, if it goes in the wrong direction either. So, you know, the contract intraday is relatively cheap. The pain to risk ratio is relatively benign when you're looking at it. But it gives you great practice on working on EWO strategies.
It does. And for not a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I noticed that's a really good one to practice with.
Yeah.
When you don't have much money and you want to do some futures, you know?
Yep. Yep. And I was really hoping that since XRP is recently been released into futures on Coinbase, I was really hoping that Webull was going to pick that up. And I asked them and they said they don't have any plans to right now.
What? How can they not do XRP?
That's a bummer because XRP moves really well.
Yeah, and as much as they trade it now, Robinhood does. I've got like a couple of them in Robinhood, but yeah, I remember scalping that one day. But so James and F2, you guys don't do futures, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, I've not I've not drank of the Kool-Aid yet.
No drinking of the Kool-Aid yet.
I got to say though, you know, with a couple of times I've caught Mark on the YouTube live, it's fascinating, but I'm not there yet.
I know. I remember when that was me. But I've drank the Kool-Aid and I likey. I think what I like about it is the ability to get back in and out. I've noticed that if you don't control yourself though, you can. And Ralph tried to tell me that I was going to do this and I denied it to high heaven. I said, that's not me. I'm not going to do that. And I damn sure did it. I overtraded for a couple weeks. I overtraded. And I realize now that just, you got to take your small hits and be happy with that and walk away from it. Plus, I don't have time to be sitting in trades all day anymore anyway. So that helps,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just, me personally, I want to get a little more consistency with the shares and more profit, being able to hold longer, and
Plus, you got a good thing happening with TSL and Teslac. You got it. You're mastering it. You're getting profitable with it. You're getting consistent with it. It's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
TSLL, I learned a lot from trading shares on it and everything. So that's why I still call her my side chick. So
well, she gets around because Papa Todd is also very thoroughly into her. So
yes, he is. That is his baby. And I remember when Bruno was into AMD, and this was when Mark was still doing options. Mark was messing around with AMD, and they used to joke about. That's why I put that in the shenanigans video, Bruno's girlfriend, and had Mark pop in there like, "Hey, she's mine too." Whoopee! Yeah.
oh, speaking of Boomer,
What is he
you
doing? Is
you, you hot tub, really?
Oh my
Really?
god! I forgot. It was Coach's idea. Oh my god. Oh man, I couldn't resist it. Oh man, I thought about Arlo and your picture when I did that. I'm like, oh, here we go with another one.
Right.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Yeah,
So,
we're
no
just
worries.
so does that make sense, Don?
yeah,
On Bitcoin, right?
yeah, it does. It really does. Yeah, I'm when I get my account up, I think I'm gonna try that strategy and just have that running in the background. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, while I'm scalping MES. you know?
Oh, you're going to be dual fisting it? Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. I heard Mark
Yeah.
did that. I heard Mark did that today, and I'm
No,
like,
no.
oh man, Mark, you animal.
What'd
I
he
think
make? Like 50? Something like that, close to it.
54, 53, something like that.
Yeah.
Regular day.
He made
Right,
a
right.
new car.
Yeah, I remember Coach saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, 54.
Wow.
But you have to look at the scale of what he's doing, right? So he's making the
Exactly.
same trades, but he's trading 20 or 30 contracts at a time.
Correct.
So when you've got $12.50 per tick times 30, each
You're
tick is
gonna
going to
make
be
that kind of
so many.
money.
You can go 2 or 3 ticks and make a couple grand in like seconds,
Yeah.
right? Now, the reality of the situation is that even during intraday trading, ES is still going to run you $1,500 per contract almost.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta have a bank to be able to do that. But it speaks to position size, right? He's doing the same thing that we're all trying to do in the micros. He's doing the same thing, but he's just got more position size to work with. Same thing Palm does, right?
Exactly.
So I watched him progress from micro to 1 E-mini, and then he went to 2, and he's like, well, 2's not that bad. I'll do 5. And it wasn't too long before he was doing 10. And then he came in one day and he goes, yeah, I tried 30 this morning. It's not that bad. Just don't look at your P&L when it's swinging back and forth.
Shit, talk about progressing. We've watched Mark progress from wanting 400 a day to where he is now. I mean, I remember listening to him in the pre-market, talking GC through trades and telling us when to get in and not doing it. And I'm like, Mark, you know this. Like, why aren't you in it? you know, and he started trading. And next thing you know, he's trading alongside GC, making, I remember when he started making $500, then he was making like $600-700, and then it was like he started getting a comma, and
I was gonna say the comma.
he started getting a comma consistently. I remember when, he was sitting in the waiting room at the hospital, he made like $2,000 that day. And those were big numbers for Mark then. So to
They're
see
still
where
big numbers for him.
and here's the thing, to see where he's come, that 50K is now his $2,000. I'm so proud of him, because in his mind, in order to be able to trade like that, it's got to be just the same, no matter what's going on. In everybody's mind, that's what we have to make it. It's the same exact trade. It's just logistics. The numbers are different.
Yeah. So
but it's the same trade.
Matter of perspective, you take what I did today. $64. That was somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.5% on my account, my little account, right? So that's 4.5% in one day.
That's huge.
You take that same thing, the same process, the same contract number, and you move that to E-minis, that's $640 in 4 trades. Same process, same everything else, nothing else changes. It's just a matter of scale. Yeah. So, I myself struggle with that, and I keep reminding myself, I've got a note in my office that says scale. It's all about perspective. $10 in micros is $100 in E-minis. Just keep plugging away at it. Make good trades, right? And I see some of the newer people come in and like, yeah, it's a lot of work for $1. Stop thinking about how much money you're making.
Right.
On the trade.
Focus on the process.
You have to get in and out of your trade successfully. Plan your entry, plan your exit, regardless of whether or not it runs to the moon or not, right? Start with the small things, plan your trade, plan your exit, and do that time and time and time again. And that's what I've really been focusing on the last 3 weeks. And I've had 3 positive days now and not a single losing trade. So
nice.
It's working.
That's awesome. That is good. That is awesome.
Except for the third one. That one was nerve-wracking. I won't do that again.
It's like when I went down to I had all of my trades were green except for that one where it went from 137 down to 109. And I'm like, God damn it. But you're going to have red trades as long as overall the day is good.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the thing that I really focused on with respect to breathe backs and retracements was, if it breathes back more than what my planned exit and goal was for the trade, get out. Because if you're doubling what your planned exit was, then you're actually realizing double the loss than you would have created in a winning trade. And now your mindset goes to, well, now I have to double the next trade to get that back. And now you're revenge trading, and it's a snowball, right? So in futures, you don't have to worry about PDT or any of that kind of stuff. So if it starts coming back at your position, get the hell out.
Yeah. Yep.
Take your lumps on the fees, which are cheap, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than letting that thing run 6, 7, 10 ticks in the other direction, especially on ES when it's $1.25 a tick.
Right.
So get feed out. If you don't like the position or you don't like the action, close the trade out, pay your $1.50, take your lumps, but at least you're not spending your time looking at that trade evaporate your money. That was the biggest thing for me. Get out, get back in on a better entry. Rinse, repeat.
And that's funny considering the fact that you started with futures, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you didn't have that habit coming from other stuff. So I brought it over from stocks, options, and futures. Yep. So the fact that you can do it with anything, because hopium you can get that from anywhere.
Yeah. That's a natural human response.
Right. We are look, I love
nobody wants to lose, right?
Exactly.
And that's the thing.
We're trained to have hope, and I finally get what Mark Douglas meant when he said trading mentality goes against everything that you've been taught. We're trained to have hope, believe in yourself. You can do it. You know what I mean? It's like you put that in a trade. You can get back up. No, it can't.
In my generation, we didn't raise no loser was what keeps resonating in my mind, right?
Right.
So I've got that indoctrination in the back of my head saying, I didn't raise no loser. Burp, 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 chirp, chirp, chirp.
Right. And it doesn't apply to the trade. It is a loser. Let it go.
Let it go. Screw it. Get back in a better position and rock it out. You know, and I still struggle with that, and I will for a long time, because it's just, that's the natural progression of it, right? You don't want to lose on a trade because you feel like you failed. Well, no, you made a bad decision. Take your lumps and move on.
Yeah. But we'll make it.
It's good stuff.
What time is it? Okay. It is time to get back to doing some editing. Miranda, I got you. I'm on it. Jen's working late tonight, so I'm going back to the grind and get some tutorial stuff out now that we got the promo out of the way. So I got you. Don't worry about it. I love your faces, guys. You want to add anything else before I get us out of here?
I think you've covered it all.
All right.
James, I love the interaction in pre-market. Thanks for coming in there and livening things up. F2, you're killing it, man. I love it. I love to see it.
Thank you.
That's one of my goals, is to be more active.
You do. James is awesome in the morning.
Yep.
And Papa Todd is also another one that's going to help you in there.
Yep. Good conversations.
Dave can do it. But yeah, F2's starting to pipe up a little bit when he can, you know. So yeah,
I'll get my Stream Deck rocking, and then we'll play some music. Or
Mark said he's going to help us through it. I've got one sitting here and it's hooked up, but for whatever reason, I don't understand how to work it. So,
well, you have to create profiles, and then from profiles you can create links to buttons. So it's a bit of a process. Once I get it figured out, I'll let you know, and then maybe I'll do some videos for you.
Okay, cool beans. All right, everybody. Thank you guys down in the chat for being here. I love your faces. James, F2, Doug, love the conversation. Let's keep it going, accountability partner. Let's stay green.
No stupid stuff.
Let me find the rules. I forgot they've got a new look to them. Where are you guys? I don't know which one it is, huh?
Did you do a new recording for the rules?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I did. In fact, I'm gonna play the new video I just did while we figure it out. So everybody have a good night. Peace and blessings. See you guys in the morning.
One of the nice things, of course, with the Diamond Lifetime membership is you guys can go in anywhere. You can jump in anything. Oh, you want to learn about crypto? 7 o'clock we're having a live session. Boom. Oh, you just got done in the morning with the coach. You want to head over to Futures and check it out and see what's going on over there? Boom. Oh, there's a mentorship class tonight. Boom. Right? Like, oh, gold breakout room. I'm in it. Oh, this weekend I got time. I'm going to jump into that weekend training. Boom. Oh, you guys got a mastermind class. Boom. Right? Like, everything is available to you, and you don't have to worry about recurring payments. You don't have to worry about, well, what if I want to learn futures or crypto later? It's all covered. It's all covered with just this $5,000. Now listen, if you can't get it today, don't worry. You can still get it, but it's going to be 20 grand. All right. So don't freak out. But everybody that's been in this room longer than say 30 days, you know that ain't squat. For what we do, that ain't nothing. And I mean nothing. In the beginning, it's going to be like, that's so much money. Later, you're going to be like, that's about a 20-second trade. Am I right or wrong?
100%, coach.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a literal steal.
You guys want to head over to AmericanDreamTrading.com and get signed up. You guys remember all the rules. You must follow all of them. Not some. You don't get to sprinkle in your own and leave mine out. You must follow all the rules. Always have a stop loss in each and every trade. If you're a new trader, make sure you are simulate trading only using a paper account. I don't want anybody losing their money while you are in training. Make sure you guys are using small position sizes. This will allow you to let those runners run and stop out the losers. Again, stops on every trade, regardless of shares, options, futures, or crypto. Make sure you guys are journaling every single day. It's one of the most important pieces of what we do on top of the risk management, so that you can help assess what you are doing and make the changes that you need to do. Don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day if you're a new trader. And if you are an experienced trader, please be careful the first 3 minutes or the last 8 minutes of the trading day.